To everyone, especially to our principal, Mr. Isidro Tiquiton, represented by our Mathematics Department Head, Madam Pimili Tingson, Head Teacher 1, to our Mathematics Teacher, Mrs. Lilia G. Imot, Master Teacher 1, who will serve as our panel of adjudicators, debaters of both sides, students, and to everyone, welcome to our Mathematics Subject Debate 2016. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome our proposition team. Please introduce your team.
I would like to express a sincere welcome to our adjudicators, opposition team, and members of the court. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce to you my companion representing the proposition team. I, Hazel Lorraine G. Daun, your first speaker. The second speaker, Adrian Obrianda. The third speaker, Cedric Naconas. The fourth speaker, Rose Ann Jacinto. The fifth speaker, Dayan Del Paulo. And the sixth speaker, Jordan Sayas.
Thank you very much. This time, let us all welcome the opposition team. Please introduce also your team.
Good afternoon to respected speakers, social science speaker, honorable adjudicators, members of the opposition team, and members of the court. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you the opposition group for this debate. For the first speaker, there is no other than me, Donald J. Tasha Kabato. For the second speaker, Anul Ayosama. For the third speaker, Giselle Donestre. For the fourth speaker, Sherwin Matolado. For the fifth speaker, Jonas Mosquera. And for the sixth speaker, Joanna Elaine Victor.
Thank you very much. You may now take your seat. Our topic is, which is the most effective method in solving system of linear equations in two variables? Is it by substitution method or by elimination method? Before I will start with our debate, let me read to you the rules and guidelines to be followed towards the end of our debate. Rules for the debate. Number 1. Speeches should be 2 minutes in duration. Speakers may penalize but never be substantially less than this. In general, speakers should speak for at least 1 minute and 50 seconds and generally no more than 2 minutes and 10 seconds. A bell will ring at exactly 2 minutes. Points of order concerning the procedure of the debate must be addressed to the chair. This can be brought at any time and take priority over all the other speeches. However, these are only used in exceptional circumstances when the rules and standing orders are being abused and the speaker making the point must be certain that the point is appropriate. 3. Speakers must observe parliamentary language. Bad language is not permitted. The use of props is not permitted in a debate. However, showing and solving solutions on the board is allowed. Speakers are evenly divided on both sides. Speakers for the motion are the proposition or the government, and speakers against are the opposition. The opening proposition speaker, sometimes called Prime Minister, has to define or interpret the motion. If the definition is unreasonable or irrelevant, then the opposing team, the opening opposition speaker may challenge the definition. The last speaker in each side is expected to sum up his or her side argument and rebut or refute the argument of the other side. Generally, this speaker will add a great deal of new information to the debate. Rebuttal is vital in any competitive speech. Any argument left unchanged is allowed to stand. The latter you came in a debate, the more rebuttals you must use. Rebuttal basically involves ripping the opposing side's argument apart and exposing its weak points. However, don't forget to make your own argument and ideally use that to rebut. Be careful to avoid leaving statements hanging in mid-air. If you say something important, back it up. Specialized knowledge should not be used to unfairly define a motion. The floor is opened up after the last speaker, and once the educators have retired, 3 minutes will be given to allow as many students to take part as possible. Heckling is strictly prohibited from the audiences. Audience must respect the speaker. Remember, you do not necessarily have to believe the side of the motion you are on. You have to make it appear as though you strongly believe in it for 2 minutes. No matter how bad you think your speech is, try to stay up for the full 2 minutes. You do not have to be genius for facts and figures to do well. If you can remember an example or fact which you research to back it up, your argument, then use it. If you can use humor, it can be extremely effective in a debate. You can ridicule and destroy an opponent's full speech with one-line joke attacking it. Although humor can be an advantage, don't worry if you can crack joke to save your speech. At the end of the debate, best speaker and best debater will be determined by the panel. Your performance as a team in a debate is based on rubrics, with 4 as the highest score and 1 as the lowest score, and the points to be considered are the following: organization and clarity, use of argument, use of information and rebuttal, and presentation. Our best speaker and best debater will be determined using rubrics with 4 as the highest score and 1 as the lowest score. And the points to be considered are the following: organization and clarity, use of argument, use of information and rebuttal, and presentation. To everyone, good luck.
Good afternoon to the respected speakers, cautious time speakers, honorable adjudicators, members of the opposite team, and members of the floor. This House believes that substitution method is effective in solving system of linear equations. So, substitution is most useful system for two equations in two unknowns. The main idea here is that we solve one of the equations for one of the unknowns, and then substitute the result into other equations. To solve a system of linear equations by substitution method, the following procedures can be followed. A. Solve for one variable in terms of the other variable in one of the equations. If one of the equations already gives the value of one variable, you may proceed to the next step. Letter B. Substitute the value of the variable found in the first step of the second equation. Simplify, then solve the resulting equation. Letter C. Substitute the value obtained in B to any of the original equations to find the value of the other variable. Letter D. Check the values of the variables obtained against the linear equations in the system. Note that substitution much easier than elimination. You can say that it is a long method, but it gives us accurate solution for x and y. Substitution also can be used for complex equations, while elimination used only for simple equations. Substitution is not confusing, while elimination can cause confusion if you are given an equation such as complex equations. And so, the motion must stand.
Mr. Speaker,
Yes.
how could you tell that substitution is better than elimination, where in fact, if the equation 2x plus y is equal to 9 and 3x minus y is equal to 16, using substitution takes time. Unlike using elimination, you just eliminate a variable and then get the answer. Just simple as that.
Yes, of course, substitution takes a long time. But as I said before, it is not confusing, unlike elimination. If you were given a complex equation, you were confused.
like in fraction equations, such as 6 over 4 or 6 over 5y is equal to 5 over 2x is equal to plus 5 over 2x is equal to 16, and 6 over 7y minus 7 over 4 is 7 over 4s is equal to 15. If you solve it in elimination, if necessary, rewrite the both equation in standard form, such like ax plus by is equal to c. Unlike substitution, you will rewrite it as slope-intercept. And for all these reasons, won this debate.
Good afternoon to each and everyone. I am from the opposition team, and I strongly believe that elimination is better than substitution. Elimination. May some of you wonder what elimination is? Elimination method is a process that of eliminating one of the variables in the system of equations using addition and subtraction in conjunction with multiplication or division, and solving the system of equations which make it more convenient. To solve linear equations into variables by elimination method, the following procedures could be followed. Letter A. Whenever necessary, write both equations in standard form, ax plus by equals to c. Letter B. Whenever necessary, multiply either equation or both equations by a non-zero number so that the coefficient of x or y will have a sum of zeros. Note, the coefficients of x and y are additive inverses. Letter C. Add the resulting equations. This leads to an equation in one variable. Simplify, then solve the resulting equation. Letter D. Substitute the value obtained to any of the original equations to find the value of another variable. Letter E. Check the values of the variables obtained against the linear equation.
Madam Speaker? Excuse me. You said that solving system of linear equations with two variables by using elimination method is so easy. But, from what I have learned, it can cause confusion to many people.
Of course not. Elimination, from the word itself, we just eliminate variables. That's so easy.
What if I give you an equation like this? Both of us will solve and I will tell the difference about our methods.
Well, are you underestimating the power of elimination method? That question is so easy, and I will show you.
We have the same answer. But, solving systems of linear equation with two variables by using the elimination method is so confusing. Because in the first, you must think of a number to multiply to an equation, then you can subtract it to the other. But when you can think of a number to multiply, then it can cause confusion, and therefore you will lose time. And you cannot solve for the equation because you find it hard.
Well, I think you're wrong. As I can see that your solution is very well together, while I solve this equation using the elimination, I take less time.
My point is that first you must think a number. What if you can think of a number to multiply your equations? Then you can subtract it into the other. Am I right?
But as I explained to you that using elimination is very easy. From the word itself, you just eliminate the variable, and we have no time
time to think about it because we have the right solution, and that's it.
Good afternoon to the respected speakers, timekeeper, members of the opposition team, adjudicators, ladies and gentlemen. The substitution method is used to eliminate one of the variables by replacement when solving a system of equations. Do not be confused in what to do next because it has steps. Solving linear systems of equations with two variables with the use of substitution method is like a child's play that is so easy. Think of it as grabbing what one variable equals from one equation and plugging it into the other equation. Example. In this kind of equation, you can solve for x and y in either of the equation. Example, I solve for y in this equation. What? Y is equals to 9 minus 2x. Then, like what I said, we grab this and plug it into the other equation, just like this. In this equation, you can now solve for x. Then you can get the value of x. X is equals to 2. Then you grab 2 and put it into the other equation to solve for y. Now you get the value of y.
If I'm going to solve an equation by using elimination, do you still think that substitution is not equal to elimination?
No. No, because in solving linear equations with two variables, the substitution method is not so confusing but because it has steps and that can be your guide.
I will repeat the question. If I'm going to solve an equation, do you still think that substitution is much easier than elimination?
Maybe yes.
So if I'm going to show you my solution to that equation, and you'll see that.
That's right.
Now, take a look, and my solution is your solution. Well, as you can see, my solution is very short and sweet, unlike your solution, it's very long. Long as the hair of our first speaker. See the difference now?
Maybe my solution is just long because my writing is big. But ma'am, from what I have learned, in solving system of linear equations in two variables by the use of elimination method, you must first translate the equations into the standard form. In the standard form, ax plus by is equal to c. But from what you have written, you didn't transform it into the standard form.
About that rule, did you really read that rule? Did you really understand that rule?
Yes.
If you do, you already know that that rule states that you can use or simply follow the rule if necessary. Right?
Yes, it's necessary. But with this kind of writing, you can lead to confusion.
The secret with the elimination method is that we can add our two equations together. And if we can solve the new equation for x or y, it will be part of the solution to the original equation.
said earlier, solving using elimination method, and as I can see from your solving, it's easier than solving using substitution. But as I can see from your solution, your system of linear equation have whole numbers for their numerical coefficients. How about if you use fraction, fraction numerical coefficients? Are you going to are you be able to solve your system of linear equations also easier?
Of course. Well, in elimination method, you know the word eliminate. In our method, we just eliminate one variable to get it.
Good morning to the chairperson, timekeeper, adjudicators, members of the opposite team. So, the first and the second speaker said that their solving is easy to solve. But I find it confusing when it comes in solving linear equations with fractions as numerical coefficients. Unlike our way of solving the system of linear equations into variables, I can prove that solving a system of linear equations in two variables is easy when you use substitution.
Excuse me, Mr. Speaker. Really? Easy? How can you say that it is easy? Because you can find the real ease and effortless method when you use elimination, because from the word itself, you just eliminate.
Yes? Eliminate substitution is a long way to go. But in substitution, students will be able to follow the flow of the solving and will easily understand the solving well, unlike elimination that is very easy to use but does not show the real solution of the system of the real long way of solution of the system of the linear equation, because they'll just eliminate. And well, I say to you, it is nice to use substitution because you cannot find a solution. You cannot just find a solution, but you can also understand the flow of the solving.
How about in this equation? X plus y is equal to 2 and 2x plus 3y is equal to 4. Can you show us if how can you solve it through substitution? And I will also show you how can I solve it through elimination.
I'll show you. that as you can see from my solution, we can really understand the flow of the solution, and I also found the answer, the solution for this problem. So in this solution I have shown to you, I can prove that substitution is better than elimination.
But look at Mr. Speaker. It has a long solution, and long solutions can take a long time to solve it. But look at my equation. It has a short solution, and it takes less time.
As I have said to you earlier, my solution is long, but as you can see, you can follow the flow of the solution and the equation, and you can also find the solution for this equation. But in elimination, you can see that it will take too much time, because you will think what will you multiply to the other equation so that you can eliminate one variable so that you can find the solution. So I say that substitution is better than elimination.
Oppositely, adjudicators, ladies and gentlemen, elimination comes from the Latin word limit, which means threshold. The Romans added an E to the beginning and created the verb limit, which means to banish or to push over the threshold and out of the door. In my solution, we need to multiply one or both of our equations to create some additive inversion. Multiply x plus y is equal to 2 by negative 2 will do the trick. Solving for y is so easy at this point. That is y is equal to 0. Now we plug y into one of the initial equations and get our answer. Use the original, but the one we multiplied by, just in case we had made some mistakes.
I would like to ask you a question. My question is, how can you say, your team rather, that elimination method is the easier method compared to substitution method? If the given equation is a complex fraction equation, prove that your team is right. Prove it.
Said complex equation? Well, it is very easy. In complex equation, you will change the equation into a improper fraction, and then you will find a number that can multiply to the two equations, and when you get the answer, you just eliminate the first part.
It is so complicated for students like us. May please give me a chance to say to all of these people here that I can prove the substitution is easier method than elimination method in solving systems of linear equations. Okay? Now, good afternoon. Substitution have a long solution in solving linear equation in two variables. But the method of substitution has the most accurate method of looking for the answer of the given equation. Simple equation. Elimination method is one of the easiest methods, but when people are no longer solving simple equation, and the equation is a complex fraction equation, we would struggle on it. All I know in solving systems of linear equation in two variables, when you are solving using the elimination method, you need to find the right numbers to multiply to the improper function you have. In substitution, you have the guide in solving the equation applied the elimination method. So, on top of the reasons behind solving systems of linear equation, substitution is the easier method compared to elimination method. Substitution has step-by-step guide in every solution not like the elimination method.
Excuse me, madam.
Yes?
One of your companions already said that your method of solving the substitution method always accurate. What about our method? Is it inaccurate for you?
That question is it. Mr. Speaker, I would support what my team has, what is my team's point. Because substitution method have a guide, the step-by-step guide, and it is not confusing like the elimination method that you are waiting for, and substitution have the easier, or I would say it again, substitution is easier method than elimination method in solving systems of linear equations in two variables. To solve with this, we want this debate.
Good afternoon, everyone. The fourth speaker of the proposition team said that elimination is confusing if the given equation is complex. I beg to disagree on what she said because elimination is not confusing because we only have to eliminate one of the variables in a system of equations. When solving systems of equations, isn't it more efficient in terms of the time to solve if it solve it using elimination? Substitution is faster when you're dealing with homogeneous equations, and in the rest of cases, elimination is quite faster and efficient.
You said that it's easy to use elimination in solving linear equations. How about if you have an equation that has large number like this one? Take down notes, sir. 5 over 3x plus 6 over 5y equals 10. And negative 7 over 2x plus 4 over 3y equals 8.
It looks difficult, but when you solve it using the elimination, it will be easier. See whether the equation is complex, and it is still easier using elimination than substitution. Therefore, elimination is better than substitution.
Mr. Speaker, please let me have the floor to explain our point. The first algebraic approach is called substitution. We will build the concept of substitution through several examples. When we say substitution, it is a method, an algebraic method of solving systems of linear equations. In this method, the expression equivalent to one variable in one equation is substituted into the other equation for the remaining variable. Substitution gives that advantages of having an equation already written for the second variable. When you find the first one, substitution is the best use when one or both of the equations is already solved for one of the variables. It is also works well if one of the variables has a coefficient of 1. By using the entire expression to replace y in the other equation, we were able to reduce the system to a single linear equation which we can easily solve for our first variable. However, the lone variable, a variable without a coefficient, is not always alone on one side of the equation. If this happens, we can isolate him by solving for the lone variable. Madam Speaker, yes? What if I would give you this equation? How do you solve this question? Negative 2x plus 3y is equal to negative 1, and 2x plus 5y is equal to 4. Well, let me show you. Says that to get the y, transform the first equation into the intercept form, which is 3y is equal to over 3 equals to 2x minus 1 over 3. Then cross out y is equal to x. We have the value of y. The second is, we have to substitute the value of y in the second equation and then solve. But first, to solve this equation, we have to distribute 5 first. divide both sides by 16 over 3. So for 80 divided by 3, 80 over 3 divided by 16 over 3, we have to get the reciprocal of 16 over 3, then multiply 80 over 3, then we will get x equals to 2, which is divisible by 8. This is substitution solving negative 2x plus 3y is equal to negative 1 and 2x plus 5y is equal to negative 5. Even if this is a long method, but it gives us an accurate solution for x and y. Substitution may be also used in complex equations, while elimination can only be used in simple equations. So ladies and gentlemen, we strongly disagree that substitution is a difficult method in solving linear equation using two variables, and with this we have won this debate. We can see this is a long way to get there. That means using elimination and just simply eliminate the variable. I will give you an example. Simplify the second equation to negative 2 to eliminate variable. So, the answer is when you get the product of this second equation, you can now add the first and second equation. So the answer is 7. Divide both sides by 7. The answer is x equals negative 1. To get the value of y, to get the value of y on the first equation, just substitute the value of y. The final answer is y equals 1. From the word itself, elimination, just eliminates the you said that elimination is easier than substitution. If you given a complex equation like what my team did it into your team, can you solve it easier than substitution? I repeat the question. You said that elimination is better than substitution. If I will give you a complex equation, like what my team give it into your team, can you solve it easier than substitution? I said, in the word itself, elimination, is just simply
opposite team, adjudicators, ladies, and gentlemen. I am here to summarize all the points taken by our team. So let me get started. Earlier, elimination method meaning was already stated by our first speaker. But then, I would like to repeat. Elimination method is a process of eliminating one of the variables in a system of equations using addition or substitution in conjunction with multiplication or division, and solving the system of equations which make it more convenient method. Let's review what to do when we want to use the elimination method. None of the steps require anyone to flip with the equations, right? In step 1, multiply one or both of the equations by constant so that the coefficients for the same variable in both equations will be differ by some, like sum and yield, no stealing, like plus and minus. Step 2, add together the revised equations for step 1. Combining like terms should eliminate one of the variables. How about that? One variable just drops out. Don't feel bad. We'll bring it back in the next step. Now, solve for the remaining variables. Step 3, substitute the value obtained in step 2 into either of the original equations and solve for the other variables. Follow with more achievement-based, low backing, you've earned it as the point. Let me state it. On the other group, the third speaker, Ms. Cedric, stated that when they're using substitution, the flow of answers are correctly stated. But well, let me ask you something. When we use elimination, doesn't we do the same? The flow of the answers are in correct manner. The secret of the elimination method is that we can add our two equations together. And if we can solve the new equation for x or y, it will be part of the solution to the original equation. It's not Houdini level magic, but it's a neat trick nonetheless.
Excuse me, Ms. Speaker. Our time is over. Please let us take the floor, please.
Respected speakers, honorable adjudicators, members of the opposition team, and members of the floor. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my pleasure to summarize this debate. We believe in the motion that substitution method in solving systematic linear equations is the most effective and much easier than elimination. The substitution method is used to eliminate one of the variables by replacement when solving a system of linear equations. You will not be confused if what to do next because it has steps to be followed. Think of it as grabbing one variable equal from one equation and plugging it into the other equation. One way to solve linear equations using substitution is that by substituting the y value with the other. Substitution gives that advantages of having an equation already written for the second variable. When you find the first one, substitution is the best used when one or both of the equations is already solved for one of the variables. Note that it is much easier. You can say that it is a long method, but it gives us accurate solution for x and y. It is used for a complex equation, while elimination is used only for simple equations. And for all these reasons, we strongly believe that the motion shall stand, and we had won this debate.
Thank you very much. That ends our debate. We would like to give a round warm applause para sa ating mga debaters. Palapakan natin ang ating mga debaters. So, before we finally end with our debate, let us hear first some comments, suggestion for improvement starting from our Master Teacher 1. I'd like to request Ma'am Lilian Ibot to give us some comments or suggestions.
Which is most effective in solving systems of linear equations was clearly depended by both sides. For the elimination method, you cited your way of elimination method. You cited the procedure, no, in getting the right solution, and also with the substitution method. Both have depended have memorized their procedures. Then I know that you prepared themselves how to answer the questions of each of the speaker. Like this, you will be able to use your communication in English better, or better, and you will be good speakers later.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Next time we hear from our mathematics department head, Ma'am Pinson, for any comments, suggestions, or recommendations from the debate. Ma'am?
First, I would like to congratulate all of you for the job well done. No? This debate, not only as a part of a requirement, no, but it also develops students the communication skills, how to speak, or what we call public speaking, di ba? You stand, how do you speak, no? How to answer back, how to ask questions. So all packaged in a debate, no? So we saw it from you, no? From both teams. So congratulations. I really appreciate your communication skills, your presentation. There are some ways pa na may mga mannerisms, but normal because you're still a grade 8. But congratulations.
Okay. Thank you very much, ma'am. So this time we'll hear any idea or point from our audiences. Any volunteer?
For me, in solving linear equation, the best method to use is the substitution. Because substitution can be easier than the elimination, the substitution is faster when dealing with homogeneous equations. It is preferred method for two equations into a non. The constants are unimportant other than having a non-zero determinant. Substitution method should be applied to complex equations which use two variables and each has a different coefficient, while elimination method is used to cancel out one variable instead of simple equations which have more than one variable.
Okay, thank you very much. Another volunteer? Volunteer? Yes, please.
For me, the easiest method of solving linear equations is because elimination, there is one way to eliminate the variable, and like substitution, that you only substitute the equation to get the variable. In elimination, you only have short solution to eliminate the variable, but in substitution, you have a long solution to get the variable.
Another idea? Thank you very much. Another idea? Yes, Milindaga?
For me, substitution is the most useful method for solving a linear equation in two variables than elimination, because the method of solving by substitution works by solving one of the equations that you have chosen for one of the variables.
When I motivation. My one solution is my queen, cause she stays strong. Yeah, yeah. She is always in my corner, right there when I wanna. All these other girls are tempting, but I'm empty when you're gone. And they say, do you need me? Do you think I'm pretty? Do I make you feel like cheating? I'm like, no, not really, cause oh, I think that I found myself a cheerleader. She is always right there when I need her. Oh, I think that I found myself a cheerleader. She is always right there when I need her. She walks like a model. She grants my wishes like a genie in a bottle. Yeah, yeah, cause I'm the wizard of love, and I got the magic wand. All these other girls are tempting, but I'm empty when you're gone. And they say, do you need me? Do you think I'm pretty? Do I make you feel like cheating? I'm like, no, not really.